financial assistance, and some of them also happens to be making you connect together. So towards the ultimate aim, which also is deriving from the national education policy, wherein India is continuously moving forward and moving to a pedestal or a platform wherein the country will be at the global hub of education in the times to come. That is exactly what is the ultimate aim of the national education policy. And if together, we, you, me, together have to do it, it has to be done in such a manner that it has a seamless integration so that none of us are in isolated steps which we are taking. That is exactly what used to be the issue earlier when each one of us was moving in absolute isolation to each other's activities. But however, present situation happens to be such that we will now be coming together and be moving in a collective conscious step taking forward. So towards that, it gives me immense pleasure to invite and welcome Dr. Harlan Singh Mali, sir. Sir, a great welcome to you and honored AICT is with your presence, sir. Dr. Harlan Singh Mali happens to be from MNIT Jaipur, Malviya International Institute of Technology. The sir himself is kind of an institute in himself, and today when we are associated with him and when he is going to be addressing to each one of you and giving a talk, ladies and gentlemen, his credentials speaks beyond, what we can expect from a person of his stature. He has done all qualifications which are so desired at this level, and he is an alumni of PC in Punjab University, Chandigarh. He has a massive experience in academics and also in aviation industry. So here comes a very important mix of a gentleman who has a very large experience in industry and more than that experience in the academics. So he's an ideal person who, with his multiple activities, both national and international levels, and one of the beneficiaries of, the financial assistance towards carrying out research or collaboration from practically every organization and institute. I think we could not have found a better person to be speaking on the topic of, startups. And startups cannot be taken all of a sudden. A startup has to be understood right from our undergraduate and postgraduate times when we give about a project to a student. Today, each one of us in every institute, you, me, all of us have qualified from engineering. Everybody carries out project. You are organizing a tech fest, somebody does tech mela, you can keep calling it whatever you want. Every student or a group of students comes out with an idea. Believe me, every idea is capable of turning into a startup, provided the correct focus is given. And this is where we have Dr. Harlan Singh Mali attached with us. And sir, wonderful to have you amongst us. Honorable Vice Chairman Professor MP Punia will surely be joining somewhere in between, sir. But in the meantime, without wasting any time and taking the interest that the people are already showing in your talk, I will straight away hand over the platform to you. And I would request each one of the participants who are connected today, try to get the maximum from Dr. Harlan Singh Mali, sir, because his experience is something which is desired today in this particular field. Over to Dr. Harlan Singh Mali, sir.
Thank you, Colonel Venkat. Thanks for the invite. I think it's an immense pleasure to be in this platform. For the past 2 years, I think we had been listening, all of you, all the experts at this platform, particularly wonderfully designed, developed, and executed with lots of dynamism into it. So thanks for this particular platform. So I'll just quickly share my screen and then we'll move on to, let us see. Here we are. What precisely we are going to talk today. Colonel Venkat or Sauravji, my screen is visible so that I can.
Very clear, sir. Very clear. It's visible.
Thank you, sir, and thanks to all the tech people who have made it possible. Because in between, I thought because of some change of mail ID, things changed, and we suffered for initial few minutes. But finally, we are here, and it's the end that matters the most. So I suppose I am talking to my faculty colleagues across India, their students, very motivated people, and mostly from engineering background and engineering fraternity, even professional fraternity, including pharmacy. All those are we are on the same footing. So the topic of the talk is the BTech major projects and how they could be converted into a new product development startup. That's the whole idea. And I won't be able to inspire. I don't think I can inspire, but I'll. And second thing is Colonel Venkat has done lots of praises, so I don't think I can disappoint you now onwards. But I'll definitely say my story of last 10 years in academics here in MNIT, and then we'll move on what can be improved further, and maybe we'll talk some other time. So the whole idea is we'll be talking in terms of this BTech major project. This is one important course which across the world people give weightage to. This is known as any major project. So we shall be talking about what is this major project very quickly. Then of course we intend to do something on the basic fundamentals about the new product development and the fundamentals of the product development. Everybody knows, but I'll just quickly, for the sake of completeness, I might like to talk about. Then of course, when anything is new or a product, then we need to quickly talk about design in terms of not only the rational design, but we'll also put forward some concepts like design thinking, because this is the area whereby, particularly in country like India, we are able to move forward, and we can think of our own problems mainly. So lots of problem solving through design thinking we intend to move in. And then of course, very quickly I'll try to talk with my colleagues about what we know about the word research, which also has the word called invention, and how things like creativity moves, and we ultimately talk about the new buzzword called innovation. Though many people are aware of it, but I still had till very recently, I had lots of doubts between the word research, invention, innovation, and what are the varieties. Whatever I understood, I'll try to talk to my colleagues here. And then, of course, there are two case studies of BTech projects which converted into startups. One out of India, one in India, because this was in 2013, and this is now 2021. So what has changed in last 7-8 years, or rather 10 years, can be thought upon here, pondered upon here. And I request everyone to please put their questions, put your interactive questions in the chat box. I also intend to take some sort of feedback in between, some sort of interaction in between the way we teach in class. So if it is possible, please do write in chat box. If someone can read for me, it will be good for me, so that I feel that there is a kind of bilateral communication in place of monologue. Okay. So thank you. With this note, we move on. So here is the basic thing about this course called BTech Major Project. We all know this is a capstone course. The word capstone may not be very popular in India because we have our own terminologies, but capstone means a course that serves as the culminating and usually integrating experience of an educational program. Whatever program you take, whether you take a diploma course, ITI course, or an engineering bachelor's course, or a master's or PhD, whatever it is, any course you carry out, you do some learning in the beginning, maybe literature review, maybe some new courses, but ultimately we are supposed to carry out a capstone course. And I still remember in many universities in US and developed world, this end of the capstone course is like a big convocation ceremony, and many people get placed during that time, and this is much more a ceremony than a convocation ceremony. So let me just tell you the word called capstone course, and major project is by default designed with all of us in all courses in India, particularly engineering courses in India, as a major project, a capstone course. That is one part. Then we'll talk about the next word called product. So what is a product? A article or a substance that is manufactured or refined for sale purpose. Mind it is for sale, right? A thing or a person that is a result of the action of the process is also a product. So these are the words which are associated with the product. Product means we'll talk about it, but it could be a product like a cell phone, an iPhone, or a non-tangible product like what we are right now talking with this particular platform, right? It could be a national pride like BrahMos, because Colonel Vaikant is sitting here. We all are proud of it. I too had lots of things in the aviation industry, particularly while working with projects related to defense through HAL and Indian Air Force. So how proud we are of our indigenous technology, particularly this kind of product. It could be a product which is like nothing but a packaged water. Why? Because we all know that it's our own water, it's our plastic. The money goes somewhere else, and we drink the water, and it is so common now. I think there are certain opinion changes happening, but still it is a product. So these are all. So we will keep on seeing new product development. So a product can be a tangible product, it can be a non intangible product, which can be physically seen is tangible. Of course, serious efforts are needed to make the particular product, and outcomes of the sustained and continuous events or iterations are required to develop that particular product. So mind it, most of the startups are still in India, maybe 70-80% startups are mainly for the service, not for the product. So servicing industry are much more thriving in India. We still see that product part, China is still the factory of the world. That means they must have done something great to develop these products and make them cost effective and make them competitive technology wise, functional wise, aesthetic wise, so that this continuous efforts must have been put in by those. So often it is the face of the company, or what face of the organization is the product. Say even if I go to out of India, particularly Europe and USA, and talk to some of the colleagues there, they say if I say I am from Jaipur, oh, Jaipur Foods, that means the city of the name itself, for them it is Jaipur Foods, right? So that way, because this is one of the products which is so versatile, which is so frugal and so disruptive, and it is one of the top product of the 2020, rather most frugal product of 2020. So that's why Jaipur is known. And so these are all peculiarities of a product. Of course, product has to come from a word called design. So design, as we talked, it is a layout. It is layout or look at or the functioning aspect. So we engineers are mostly interested in the functioning part. Of course, the aesthetic part and look part is done by mostly industrial designers. Say, for example, NID, National Institute of Design, Ahmedabad. Those are the people who go for this look aspect, the aesthetic aspect. But we work mostly on the functioning part. It could be anything like an object or a garment or a building. So everything relates to design. Okay. So that is part of your design, just for the sake of the completeness we talked about. When I say aspects of the design, what are the terms which are associated with the design? Say, for example, we make most of the products for humans. So it is the human aspect which is the prominent one. Second part is the form, as I told, the interface of humans with the products. So that's the form. Say here works the, as I told, this is part of the theory, which is part of the communication design. Similarly, the form and function interfacing happens by industrial design. So this is done by industrial designers, as I told in say premium like NID people do that. But most of the engineering institutes, all of us, those who are in the engineering business or STEM business, we are into the human and the functionality part. This is where the science or the principles, or as I was listening to some of the AICT program only, the science is inhaled and technology is exhaled. So this is what mostly our domain is. But if you have done something very good in functionality, of course, this is taken care by people later on also. But this is where we are more focused on, particularly for product development. Now we'll move into the two categories of the product development. We see products all around us, starting from your pen to mouse to whatever bottle or laptop or even buildings and whatever. They're all designed products, and we need designers for that, and they design and the products are developed. And mostly people do work in their own domain. That's what is mostly products what you see. And these are the products which are basically interchangeable. That means if a product is designed and developed in China, well, overnight it moves to across the world. So this is developed by the domain specific people, very highly mass produced and dumped rather. So we all see these common products which are there available, all man-made products. But there is something known as another word called design thinking, where it is suitable, why it is meant for so, and what kind of product development can be done by design thinking, wherever the critical problem, what problems we see in India today, how they can be solved by. So that word is design thinking. So first we'll talk about the rational thinking, mostly what you see. All of us know we have studied a course like machine design for mechanical engineers, circuit design for electronics engineers, and building design for civil engineers. So that is the domain specific designers work. So that is basically mostly based on rational thinking. So rational thinking products also we generally refer them as design importance wise. So it should be based on some utility, peculiarity. It has some features, distinguishing features, ergonomics parts are taken care, safety aspects are taken care. It has some unique selling point, otherwise it won't sell. Or it sometimes becomes a market strategy, and it has to align with the organization's motto of the organization. So that is related to rational thinking based products. And please do understand that we have to move in these directions for getting this realization of product development. Whether it is a rational or design thinking, we'll talk about. Initially, it is a need. Based on the need, we go for ideation sketches. Initial sketches are done. Then we go for the design proposal. This is one big step. And of course, once the design proposals are done, then you need lots of funding, particularly for, of course, feasibility studies and all those are done in the early stage. So we generally say this is again part of the design, and we spend only 30% money. 70% money is spent on this prototyping, and the rest of the business making the mass production aspect. But it is during this step itself, 70% of the cost is committed. So these are what we have studied in our design courses. So that is our rational thinking. Mind it, we are not here for rational thinking, but we are, for the sake of completeness, we are trying to link it to the rational thinking. Now let's move on to design thinking. So design thinking means, again we have come to the same particular sketch, whereby we need to deal with humans, we need to talk with the form, we need to be dealing with the function and human interface. Here we are looking for this design thinking word. Okay, so what is design thinking? But before we talk about design thinking, let's look at some problem scenarios. Okay, and one scenario is this. I taken some images from Google. Moment you just Google up these few words: poverty in India, problems of India, or even if you write India, except some sponsored things, we just find lots of images like this. And please do understand, none of the images are like, though the images are there, the developer might see them as a very, very pathetic condition, but we know that it is not. We know that the woman, how empowered she is. He works in the construction work. The boy is nothing but he is helping his parents. So nothing wrong in that. Many of us must have come in this kind of one. Those are from rural background. But what is the issue? What we need to, what they need, and sometimes we don't know what they don't need. Even they themselves are not aware whether they need something or not. So there are something known as undefined problems and unmet needs. So these are the one issues. Say, look at this particular condition. The family maybe, I don't know for what reasons, there could be calamity. Here again we see lots of issues. They temporarily shelter in some places. And I need not to talk about these images. We all are aware of it. There are social issues. There are attitude issues. Even if, say for example, somebody lives in this kind of houses, it looks so pity when we see. But even if you put these people in the one BHK rooms, based on some government schemes, they will sell that and come back to these houses. So why so? There are cases, there are movies made on this, so we can appreciate this, but we cannot appreciate the other. But this is a case like. So there may be some cultural issues. That means a person who has been spent his life living in this, if you suddenly try to change his culture, put him in some apartment at the 10th floor in a very, very small congested area, he or she may not like to stay in that. So, but still we need to solve their problem, because we know that there are problems and we are meant for that. Okay, so again let's take this small case study and how to make people. This particular case is like, this is a common scenario. This again, the image is taken from Google. We see there are dustbins, and unfortunately this is an image taken from Amenity itself. One particular corner of the shop near the shop where the boys come and spend some time, and this happens, and this is nothing new. So how we can ensure that people use this dustbin? That's the problem statement. If you give it to your BTech students, or if you yourself think and give it to anybody, what could be your input? This is what you might think, or what the boys might think, and what this is a solved case study. So I am just trying to connect to you. But otherwise, if you look at, I'm looking for some of the inputs. So if you have some inputs, please put in your chat box. I'll be happy to go through that. But since there is no interaction method right now between us, so we'll move forward. I think you must have written something in the chat box that this way you have some idea might have clicked to you that how they can be asked to. So say for example, this particular image, which is already a solved, which is very popular in the institute. So people have made it what? They have made it musical. So moment the music has been associated, I need not to talk about it. They put in. So sorry, I think I will connect to music, but it may not be necessary. What you see here is they have done some sort of moment you throw something inside it, the music blows inside. Okay, so the music plays inside. So what has been done? People get, just common people like all of us, when we go to park or anywhere, the music plays and they find it useful, so they deliberately put something. Even there are kids who will pluck from neighboring area the dustbin, and they found that more than 72 kg rubbish has been collected in a single dustbin. And it was far more than that. Means a simple uh, a very very nonsense problem has been solved by a simple idea. Of course, I don't say this idea will work here in our parks or so, but it is one of the solution, and which has come from nothing but the design thinking. That means people aspirations have been taken up, and this is courtesy this Volkswagen initiative. Okay, so now moving next, how solutions have been arrived world over for their own problems. This is what I am trying to emphasize upon. Say we saw our own problems, we saw the images there. Still, you can see all around. You move from your college or university to office, and you see the neighboring area, the construction areas, people walking, people begging, the traffic issues, and how their solutions have been arrived. And the solutions, mostly the unique or indigenous solutions, have been arrived by this term called design thinking, or the philosophy. So let's quickly understand the word design thinking, and then we'll talk about those particular projects. Okay, so what is design thinking? It is a mindset as well as a process. So we have already talked about the rational thinking. Rational thinking is one which is unique to particular targeted issue, and we know most of the products are manufactured through rational thinking. Maximum outcome will come by rational thinking. But the word design thinking is only through context, observation, and the word empathy. We'll use this word empathy with other end users, particularly. Say, look at those people living in the slum areas. So can those municipal officers, can those managers, those IS officers, or those engineers, can they empathize with the end user who has to ultimately live in that, so that one can hope to design solutions that will fit to their environment. So this is the feeling of the mindset. Then it's of course a process. So process is no much different from the rational thinking or conventional design, but we'll talk about it, because conventional design is the one whereby all the competition and all those things you see, say it's an automobile or a product like watch or whatever it is. Okay, so what are the steps of the design thinking? Because we know that it's a process as well as mindset. So when I say design thinking process, there are 5 steps. One, the primary step is the empathize. We'll talk about the word empathize. It's a wonderful word. We'll just spend one slide at least on the word empathize. We also need to differentiate it from the word called sympathy, because there are people, we engineers, we hardly pay attention to this kind of words. But once we empathize and we come out with any kind of a kind of problem statement, then we'll try to further define the problem, and then we find a solution ideation, and then of course you try to make a prototype, and then that testing happens. So these are the 5 steps, but they are not linear. What happens? you can move in from any direction to any direction. Okay, that means you will have to move. Otherwise, you prototype and then come back to define. Prototype. Design thinking is this word called empathy. Empathy, or it's a user-centric approach. Let us see. So why I'm trying to talk about, because we are into this business of motivating our students for taking up major projects, and those major projects should not only give them degrees first, then, but they should be something constructive for the society, for the industry, or some kind of product can be developed. So that means empathy is a word which will be like seeing their world, users' world, understand their feelings, communicate your understanding, and appreciate them as human beings. So based on this, the empathy word has come up, but we'll still ponder in. So difference between empathy and sympathy. If you just look at, I was just going through some literature, and I was trying to understand what is the difference between sympathy and empathy. Word-wise, it looks little simple, but it can be only explained by some examples. Say, for example, if you have three friends, A, B, and C, they are very good friends, maybe they're school friends, they are boys and girls, irrespective of it. Say, B just recently lost her mother. Okay, so what happens? Both are close friends. They go to him or her, their residence, and then try to talk to him or her, try to understand, and try to feel his pain or her pain. So now the case is, which boy or girl, A or C, will be able to understand, or maybe more closer to his pain. Now, say for example, in this case, A has both his mother and father both are living. C lost his mother, so C doesn't have the mother. Right now, his mother and father both are living, but C has lost his father, or in maybe some age of some time back, and mother is alive, something like this. So now please appreciate, when they talk to this guy, what is the difference between this A's feeling and B's feeling, and A's motivation, A's closeness and C's closeness towards B. That means sympathy part, as far as A is concerned, he or she can sympathize without doubt. But sympathy is always, again, we'll talk about the next slide, but C will be much more closer to not only sympathize but empathize. So let us talk about the word empathy, and let us see the difference. So this word sympathy and empathy, particularly empathy, they come from the subject called ethics, psychology, emotional intelligence, philosophy. What I wrote everything, moral science, which we have learned in our school days, attitude or aptitude also. So this is our feelings, not only feelings, the actions, the behavior towards human beings, not only human beings, animals, or even fictional characters. Say, for example, some movies whereby we know that the actor may not be live. The character plays is somebody may not be. It's only a temporary thing, but people start crying in the theaters and all. We all know that. I remember once in 2007, I went to Malaysia, a conference called that was AMTT, I suppose, and we were interacting with the registration ladies who happens to be faculties. They were women. So when I told that I am from India, then she said, "Why you go to theaters to cry?" And then she said that she has seen that movie, maybe one of the maybe like Hum Saath Saath or whatever maybe the movie, because she said that when she saw the movie, everybody was crying, and mostly Hindu population there, Tamilians living in Malaysia, they were watching that particular movie. So that's what it could be related to the fictional characters also. Similarly, when you differentiate it, empathy is the ability to understand. Please do understand, is the ability to understand, whereas sympathy is the ability to feel pain. Sympathy is important, but sympathy doesn't give you a very good solution, particularly if you are trying to solve the people's life, try to do something for human beings. through through some product development, sympathy will not help. We sympathize and pay money to some beggar and all. That is not the solution. Please do understand. It has to be empathized. That means we have to have the ability to understand the moods and the mental state of others. Any situation is possible. It is not only the suffering, because sympathy is always with the suffering. But we need not to say that it is always with the suffering, because in happiness also empathization is important. Normal condition also empathization is important. So there are three types. I just took it from literature that it could be cognitive type, emotive type, compassionate type, whereas it is the emotive and compassionate. That means we have to go for this understanding aspect, cognitive skill, particularly to empathize with a human being or the society. Okay. So with this note, we move on to this understanding this particular word called empathy. And once we understand, we'll talk about the much more about the design thinking aspect. So when the problems are weak, that means this environment, this is a very, very popular environment, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous ambience or environment. So whenever this happens, we always go for design thinking based solutions. That means when the problems are weak, that means both the problems and solutions are unknown to in the beginning. You don't know, people don't know whether they have this problem or not. A large part of the problem solving is actually defining the problem itself. That's what when you do something by design thinking. When to use, it is not the answer of every problem. Please do understand, design thinking is not the answer of every problem. But what we see in India around today, which are unique to us, we will have to solve it. I tell my students, no European or German or Chinese or American will come and solve our unique problem, containing particularly to our own agriculture, because our issues are unique to us only. They may not be, because the world may not know how this family separation takes place and what the small the division of the land takes place, and what are the emotional issues with the land, particularly in this belt, agricultural belt, this Gangetic belt, or particularly in Hindi heartland we call it. So that our problem we have to solve ourselves only. Okay. And then for people, these problems will be so all the problems are not solved by design thinking. Of course, the rational thinking is still the paramount. Say, for example, all kind of competition, all kind of product development. You see how the car, every day we find a new product in terms of different car launching. See how many products have come up from, say, Mahindra, Tata, all kind of competitive world in terms of automobile sector. So that is all done by rational thinking, not by design thinking. So design thinking is not a solution of everything. We are only interested in design thinking based solutions for our BTech major projects. So it is not that I give all the problems of major project to the design thinking based problems, but there are big chances, there are good chances that if we solve these problems through design thinking, if we take a unique problem, the success of that particular problem solving is more, because otherwise if you design a robot for some automobile sector or maybe out a factory, it may not be that worthy, because thousands of people are doing that, and they may be much more resourceful, and they may be having lots of advanced tech than me. But definitely if I look for some similar automation in some agriculture product which is only used in Haryana or maybe part of Punjab or Western UP, then I can uniquely think of that particular solution. So it is the people, that is desirability, is the technology that will give me feasibility, and the business which will give me viability. So this part we academicians we hardly take care, but thanks to this MIC, this Ministry of Education's innovation cell, things have come up in a big way that Lakshmi Saraswati gap is being reduced, and people are being motivated particularly. So these are the three elements of design thinking which will be integrated by design thinking, people, technology, and business. Everything is important, because we already know that we mechanics, we engineers, whatever branch we follow, we know lots of technology. We empathize and identify that there is a need for this. And for, of course, then we'll have to go for some kind of business model. That's where the startup aspect comes in. Okay. So I just want to quickly tell you that these 5 words have been simplified to 4 because again, empathize is very important, but analyze is second best. So this is also part of your rational thinking. Empathize, analyze. Then of course I thought that let me ideate and solution can be one because this is highly iterative. I ideate something, try to solve, it fails, and then I do again ideation, we do incremental change, do come back. So this is like solve category, and finally the test. So this becomes a simple word called EAST, east, look east, huh? Something like that. So it's easy for the students to remember that well. If they think something of east, well, it could be these are the 4 steps. Okay. Now let's move on to when to use design thinking. So this has come from my own thought process that let me talk in this way. One could be like it could be within domain. Say for example, we surprise ourselves regarding within our own domain. Say we try to do some development in terms of a backpack based product development, particularly for newborn babies and babies who are may not be newborn but who are not able to walk. So just a multi-purpose convertible pram could be one case study which we'll talk about it now. This is of course within our domain because it has some mechanisms, some force free body diagrams you can make, understand the forces, you can know the knowledge of materials, mechanisms, forces, the strength of those parts, strength of materials you can understand. You can make a CAD model, then you can ascertain it within the CAD, maybe by CAE, and then of course you carry out those mechanism testing within the computer, and then you make a proto. So you may be 3D printing it or whatever maybe you are interested in your prototype. Of course, then this is all mechanical engineers are supposed to do. But if it is maybe automated, you can learn integration of electronics into it, so that becomes an interdisciplinary problem, but within the domain of engineers. Now, other thing is we come to very quickly come to out of domain. Say, for example, before 5-6 years, I was not at all aware what are those medical devices. Say, for example, what are those terms itself. If 2 doctors talk to each other, if you go to a hospital and 2 doctors talk, you are sitting there, you may think that you have done PhD, but you will hardly understand their meaning, what they are talking. The terms are so heavy, particularly domain specific. So can we quickly overcome those terms and move on to solving their problems? So we'll talk about a corrective orthosis. Mind it, both are startups, both are working, one in the old problem, maybe this is a recent one. So and both are taken from VTech projects. Okay. So these are the 2 particular cases we'll talk about. But very quickly, we'll use these 3 words called research. So research is what we are all supposed to be doing, maybe in for our BTech projects also sometimes give us research papers, some patent filing also, MTech, masters and PhD students. So research is a systematic and planned investigation which every academician is supposed to do, publish papers, file patents, and if possible, take it to next level. So this word research, I think everybody is appreciating. Now, so within research, there is a word called invention. So if invention, if I talk about within the invention and research, the difference lies in which way. I think you know it, because research part is a more like a sequential work. But if you keep your eyes and ears open, sorry for using this word, but I tell my student, if you keep your eyes and ears open, if you be critical every time, sometime you will find that some fantastic results might have come in. You may not be able to justify those. So they may be unique, they may be novel. So that becomes your invention. It doesn't happen overnight, but it happens since centuries. It has been happening with the academicians, with the researchers, with the scientists, even common men. So that is even welders and people who are doing simply, casting work, and those people who had suddenly found something. It is not that they will just found it because they are into the domain. They are very good observer. They observe nicely, but only thing, if it is invention, if it is novel, because I have taken this word from Indian Patent Office. So there are 3 things. What is patentable? We all tell to the world that if it is novel, if it is non-obvious, if it is having some industrial application. So that is the difference between the research and invention. I think this part is taken. But mother of these 2 is a word, and that word I want you to appreciate. and that is the most important resource of a human resource, which makes us different from maybe other Homo sapiens, different from other animals. And I usually, if you are in class, I would ask you, and people give me all sort of answers, human traits, human values. But as far as within this, in terms of this context, the most important thing is I think is the word called creativity. So the most important human resource is creativity. So creativity is the most important human resource given by this particular definition. Who agrees that it is the creative people who make things. So it is not necessary that since we are the world's 1/6 person, that means we are having the 1/6 creative people in the world. We should be having 1/6 of the medal winners in the world, 1/6 scientists who can win Nobel Prizes if things are supposed to be in the right direction. And if you are a country which is where everybody gets opportunity wherever he or she has taken birth, that means creativity is normally distributed. It is definitely not that if somebody is living in a well-sorted family, then only he or she is creative. That means it has to be distributed normally across the world. So we may be having the world, we are supposed to be having the world 1/6 creative people, and it is one of the important traits. We simply call it the word Indian Jugaad, but because for the lack of systematic research, with the lack of people who identify, who support, and who doesn't understand the engineering principles, we simply call it Jugaad. Otherwise, they are all creative people, and we need to support. Even among our students, I find some of the students are excellently creative, and they are the most important human resource. So once we talk about, so I think creative people, if you look at this, we all see this problem every day. We face problem. If somebody is creative, he or she will not think linearly. एकदम बाबू की तरह नहीं सोचेगा. Sorry for this word. Everybody can be creative, and in the class could be creative, but he or she will be laterally thinking and find out some way. If you face the wall, even our PhD students, I keep telling you, if you stuck it, don't wait there. You find some alternative, and then only things will be. That's what is the creativity word. So the newness, the adding value will come from the creative. Okay. Then this creativity, research, invention, they together will come out with some kind of work or some kind of outcome. Let me use the word outcome only, which sometimes give you disruptive outcome. It could be a disruption in altogether things, or it could be a small incremental improvement also. So both, if they are having three elements, again, industrial application, it is, and if you can take it to the level where it is desired, then you can refer it as an innovation, right? So I don't know how many of you differentiate this word. I always had a difficulty understanding the difference between innovation and invention. So now I think my concepts are clear. So I thought, let me share with you. So this innovation could be again two types. The product development could be again two types. It could be like we all see. It could be, you see, lots of technology has been developed. So this could be nothing but the push type, or second could be the pull type. That means what we see in these days, based on the COVID vaccination, is nothing but the pull type, because the basic research was there, but the need came, you develop, you simply send in the market. Okay, so this is your pull type and push type innovation which is possible. So all these things are nothing but the disruptive innovation. They have changed things. One of the unique thing which I referred from literature is what you see. See this we call it industry 1.0. Similarly, just take an example of ice making. These are the world people who will, whenever the ice snow falling takes place, people will store it and keep it, similar to what we store in grain. That's what the olden ways. Then people move to ice factory. Then we have the refrigerator today. So based on this, even everywhere these things have changed. Maybe after 50 years or so, ice making may be altogether different world. Okay, so this is possible when you have a disruption in the technology development that has come up. Okay, so, but that doesn't mean that you don't have the uniqueness in terms of moving things. You can have. That means you carry out research and be creative, and we remain in that. And then of course these new ideas will pop in if one remains open to the thought process and doesn't suppress things and remains, as I told, keeping the eyes and ears open. Then, of course, carrying out the design and development. This is the most difficult thing, because we are good in these two things. Many people have lots of ideas, carrying out research, also publishing papers, filing patents. But this is the world, this further designing and development, this, and then of course commercial exploitation. That's what is now only the ecosystem has come up. So let us see, we are limping into this kind of world called innovation world. And again, design thinking, that means this east can definitely help us, is in terms of empathizing, analyzing, solving, and testing. That means where we are here, everywhere we can think on this east, and come back to this innovation level. Okay. So moving next, this sketch again I found it from literature itself, that this is research and development we all are doing. Maybe everybody in the institute will have, at least if you have, in my department, if I say 35 faculty members, uh, Professor Punia sir has come to AICT. Otherwise, including him, we are 35. So if I see around 39, 38 people are publishing papers, guiding, supervising PhD, that means they are involved in research. They may be filing patents also because of the invention. But this stops here, and this number is very, very high. But nothing has come up which can be called to a business idea, or which can work up to business level. And this has not come up in the domain of product. It may be there in the domain of process or maybe services, but in terms of product, it is much needed. That's what is the real need. Okay. And that's what is the term called entrepreneurship comes in. So forget about entrepreneurship and all. We are into this particular business of academics, and we are supervising our students. Let us see how things move. And we are back to this particular sketch of ours, whereby we see this photograph, people suffering from this kind of problem. I think you may be knowing, this is 1 out of 800 babies are born with this kind of problem. India has 50,000 births per annum which are suffering from this problem. The babies' foot are twisted. World over, people are not taking birth. I mean, particularly in Europe and all, there are very few babies, and if they take birth, if they have this kind of problem, there are lots of support system available from the government, from the society, from the system itself. But we see in India, we have still lots of issues with that. That means our problems are endemic. See, now you know the word pandemic, but endemic definitely, say for example, we use the word trees and all. Say for example, if I am in Rajasthan, I'll use the word, particularly a plant called khejdi or tree called khejdi is endemic to the desert itself. Otherwise, if you just talk about Kashmir, they will have their own endemic vegetation. So endemic is local. Of course, for solving the local problem, we have to have kind of innovations which will be whereby we will be able to solve these unique problems of India itself. Okay. So now after this so much of this framework setting, let's move on to this within domain case, which will be like we did it in 2013. And what I see, nothing great. It was empathy that one of my colleagues, though my daughter was adult enough, but in 2013, I saw lots of new faculty members here in MNIT. They were they had babies, and many of them were working families together, husband and wife. If they are together, it's fine. One will carry the baby, other will be maybe idle or carrying the basket. But if you don't live very close to the park, if your say residence is here and park is somewhere here, so you have to use a bus or maybe multiple road, or then move over there, maybe a metro if you are in Delhi. So this baby and pram together, you'll have to carry it, right? So this is the scenario you see, not only in India, across the world. Why? Because if you are a single parent, particularly carrying your baby, you will always be in soup, because either to hold the baby or manage this pram. So I just gave a problem statement based. So this is what I'm trying to say. This is empathizing with those people, right? So what could be the solution? I told my students a possible solution could be based on the problem statement. This came the solution. I hope you are able to see the screen. And what is the solution here? The solution is a pram bag which converts itself from a bag to a shoulder bag, which gets converted back to the pram. Okay, so this was a quick mechanism. It has to be a safe mechanism whereby you can. It's a new stroller design developed and converted into a kind of bag come. So just take your baby on your shoulder, get into the bus or metro, and then go back, unfold it, enjoy the park, and come back, do the same process. So this was a pram bag, and this we did it in 2013. Mind it, see the four students like Ankur, Elvis, Sabyasanchi, Shubham, we take fourth year, and this was like 2016. That means this we filed a patent, so of course. So this is not 2016. They were like they graduated in 2013. Filed a the paper guys came in. We published that we have made this and filed a patent, and then one of the students, Sabyasanchi, he went to pursue his masters from a university called Helsinki University in Finland. Helsinki University, Finland. He went there, and 2014 he told, sir, there is a competition happening. There is a competition which talks about for new ideas. Can I participate? So please give us a reference in favor of me. So we all wrote for him, and then he won that competition. He won first prize, and this is the first prototype of that particular product, which is still lying in my lab. And then he got 50,000 euros as a first prize. He employed 1 or 2 person, and then he moved on to that. He started his company called Pram Bag. Okay, but though it's our own product, we developed it here. So you know what was the reason? That time we have nothing like this idea that in universities can start their own companies. Okay, so that was 2013. Now we are in 2021. 2021, what has come? You have MIC, you have NISP, you have lots of NISPs. This policy for students and faculty members to start NISP 2019 to start startups. So based on this, many things, how things have changed, I would like to tell you now here itself very quickly. And before I tell you that, this problem statement, which I think we need to appreciate very quickly, because as I told, the twisted baby's foot, which is known as clubfoot. Clubfoot in technical terms, it is very simple. It is known as CTEV, congenital talipes equinus varus. Congenital means by birth. Talipes is the joint of this foot is known as talipes. And then equinus is a condition whereby the foot is like a horse, like equinus, and varus is it is inverted. So this is CTEV condition. All right. So the CTEV or clubfoot is being treated. I hope at least 10% of you must be knowing it, because we have somebody or in the family or distant relative. If you are observant, you must have seen it. It is being treated since 50-60 years by this method by Dr. Ponseti. This method is known as Ponseti method, whereby only the complicated cases are done by surgery. Otherwise, this non-invasive method is being used. What is the non-invasive method? It is a long process. What happens? The parent along with the baby has to come to the hospital, and doctor, particularly orthopedic surgeon, they will be understanding the foot's biomechanics, and then they will put some plaster on it, and likewise they will put some correction by this plastering. So this correction phase happens for 5-6 stages. So it will take a few months. Correction happens. Once the correction takes place, this kind of bilateral orthosis is given to the baby, and he has to or she has to wear for 23 hours per day. 23 hours per day. That means almost 24/7. Even if you have problem in one leg, 30% cases are unilateral. Then also you have to wear this kind of bilateral thing. So imagine a condition. What is the condition? The condition is you have to. Can we replace this repetitive cast? I told my students, can we have replace this DB splint? This DB splint is bilateral orthosis. Can we minimize the parent's visit to the clinician, because it's a torture. You don't imagine a parent that who comes in Skoda, who comes in a Alto or Creta or whatever it is. Imagine a parent living in Bardmer coming to Jaipur using 5-6 modes of transport, and then reaching here, and how many times? At least 10 times he or she has to travel to Jaipur. Now this is one such thing. So can we use some technology, contemporary technology, so that this problem can be solved? So For that, we have to do the empathy study. So of course, empathy study we have done formally now, but this problem was being I gave this problem to my students in 2017 itself, and that time itself, things BTech product students we started doing something or other. But this study, what it shows that when even if you leave, say travel during the orthopedic surgeon, the paramedical staff, the PMR, P&O at home, what are the pain points for this kind of patient? Say for example, a kind of social stigma, particularly in public transport, during treatment, extensive visit. What is good? Good is like when the doctor says to the parent that it can be completely cured. That's a happy moment. But that's the only happy moment. Rest is all pain points. Baby carrying during the cast is a big thing. See PMR, those paramedicos. Sorry, not paramedicos. PMR is a rehabilitation doctor, physical medicine rehabilitation doctor who gives this kind of processes to this kind of orthosis to the baby, and then fitting of this brace by this P&O, and finally at home, what are the issues? So those are the pain points, the kind of empathy study if you do carry out, and you then try to quickly move into understanding their language. Say for example, I'm mechanical engineer, so I understand what is pitching, what is yawing, what is rolling, right? What is rolling? So, but what these people call it? They call it pitching means dorsiflexion. So dorsiflexion is upward, and downward is nothing but this particular plantar flexion. These are the words they use. So I first understood, then told my students that these are nothing but these terms only. Forget about the terms. I'll simplify it. You just move it in. So those medical frontal planes, transversal planes, surgical planes converted into yawing, pitching, and rolling, clockwise, anti-clockwise. These terms were simplified. The forefoot, hindfoot, midfoot, and then of course by doing this we came back to the biological knowledge, and I prepared a problem statement. And this is a problem statement which was given to the students in the first group of students in 2017 itself, that can we develop and design a non-invasive device which will be treating this CTEV or clubfoot problem, which is not only for maintenance, because maintenance is done by the orthosis, but during the correction, because look at the correction phases, the plastering or a newborn baby. Who can you imagine a newborn of yours or your siblings which is having this kind of problem? You know, the plastering, then this leads to blistering and skin rashes and all kind of problems. So can our problem be can we solve make an orthosis by which this multiple or simultaneous corrective motions can be solved with? So finally we came out 17, 18, 19, and now this kind of orthosis has taken shape, whereby it has 6-7 degrees of freedom, multiple corrective motions. Idea is we give it to the doctor prescribes along with the sheet, and then of course gives with the sheet to the parent, that every week you rotate this much, this lever you press and rotate this much, and take, and next week you move to this direction, of course through this mobile and those technologies. Lots of things are there. I won't have to disclose everything right now, but the whole idea is we have come to a level whereby we could come to a startup level. A new PhD student has taken place, and we are regularly in touch with the medicos here in Jaipur. They give us lots of feedback, and most of the it's a startup now, and startup has taken shape, and it is available on this portal itself called Jaipur Clubfoot Private Limited. Okay, so what it does, what are the concepts, what we are interested to do, what is the team, all those can be seen by you guys anytime, not a problem. So I need not to spend so much time with this, but these are the when we seamlessly integrate with these people, and it is the BTech students who started this because they were the first to dig this problem under the supervision, maybe multiple batches, and I don't mind saying they are showing their faces. This is the first group, so I call them the mechanism development group, which is like who graduated in 17. Then the model development group, again 4 BTech students. Most of them are right now working place somewhere or having their own or in civil services. and then the model improvement group, and finally manufacturing standardization group. This is a student who has just graduated this year, this July. And again, we have a new batch of students. And how this has come up? This has come up because of a group called CAM Society, because this is what we have made, and we are trying to, this group of CAM Society students is a club whereby along with the lab, these students, they learn from each other and get support from the university and different industry people, and they carry out some kind of very quick teaching learning process. We compete in terms of hackathon, in terms of various other national competition, international competition. And of course, as far as lab is concerned, now through the BTech students, some of them have joined for masters, who started working, and then I taken one PhD student also, who is altogether from an industrial background. We got some funding also in terms of various grants, starting from the industry to the BIREC, which is again a government funding. Of course, this is the one which talks about the BIREC funding. So I think I overshoot 5 minutes. Thank you very much, and I stop sharing. So it is over to you, to the host. Thank you. Ready for the questioning? Colonel Venkat? I think I have certain questions, so I can quickly answer. So there are lots of good morning, good afternoon. Thank you. So those things are there. So I'm looking for some questions. Dr. Jyoti Shukla says, so she is making a comment here that migration to only few big cities by engineers, etc. is a big issue. Why factories, etc. are not set up in smaller cities? So Dr. Jyoti, your concern is right. I think, but this may not be the right platform for thinking. So you are saying, but definitely, yes, Corona gave us a solution in terms of work from home. What could be the solution in terms of design thinking? This is what, so possibly I may not be able to answer it, this particular question, because I don't consider myself a design thinking expert. I am an applicant. As I don't work in design thinking. My research area is advanced manufacturing and mechatronics, and few product development. But definitely your concern is right. You will get your answer sometimes. So maybe later I can answer your question. Then Mr. Sachin wants to know, is it possible to have invention at UG project level? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Within stipulated time also. So the question lies in rightly forming the problem statement. So just rightly form the problem statement, give them a kind of right problem statement and ask them to empathize. If that particular group does it, don't wait for that. Let them graduate with that particular quanta. Then the next group will come and again form the right kind of problem statement. This way we can move to the next level. So can we jump to the final project section? Oh, that's what. So we talked about it. Maybe the basics have taken lots of time. So there is a question: is difference between the creative idea and the innovative idea. Okay, creative idea and innovative idea. As I say, I use the word creativity. Number one, invention, innovation. Forget about creative, innovative. So take from there. There are the sub words. Innovative is from innovation. So innovation is one which is not an idea. Of course, idea is there from the invention. But if you can take it to the level that it can be commercially exploited, that becomes an innovative or innovation. Or if you go back and tell it, say, if we talk about, say, the Paytm, Mr. Sharma was, I don't know, some 2-3 years back, I was hearing his interview with one of the program in some TV interview. Then he said that this Paytm kind of things were happening for the past 20 years. But now the idea has come and everything is so sad. That means it is not an but we see it's an innovative idea. It's the innovative stuff right now we look at. So that doesn't mean that he is the only one, but only thing is we differentiate with the 4 primary words: research, invention, then creativity and innovation. So innovation is one which bridges all the stuff and gets you commercial exploitation. Okay. So then next question is from Sir, I have an industry in institute theme. Okay, how to identify potential problems. So potential problems, I think Miss Atisha Ji, this is like uh, if you just go for stuff like empathy study, you may read some books on empathy. What is empathization? There are bureaucrats, all IS officers these days. They are taught a full course on ethics and empathy. So we can also learn some empathy aspects related. There are lots of YouTube videos available who are teachers you will find interesting. So we have to start with the empathy. So empathy is one word from where we can find the potential solution. I hope I answered your question. Then thank you so much. Wonderful session. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks to you all. Innovative, nice. Thank you. If we have some ideas, is there anyone who were you could go for? Okay. So there is seems to be a student, Hassan. If we have ideas, is there anyone where we go for? You can approach to the nearest university wherever you are studying. And these days we have lots of DSP sponsored uh, these incubation centers, but it is not the idea. Please groom that idea. It is simply idea will not be sufficient. Just involve your engineering knowledge into it, refine that, do lots of literature review, find whether whatever you are thinking may be done by someone else. So I tell my students, if you are just simply after this particular point that I have this idea, I'll leave it that it's okay. Idea is great, but the whole thing is, have you done testified your idea? Have you done the literature review in terms of, and not only the research papers, but even in some patents, you'll find that similar thing is already done and that has not been exploited by many people. That means market may not be needing it. And even those who talk about startups and all, when they say that why the startup fails, the one reason the startup fails is because the startup may not be working on the right thing. That solution might not be needed by the population or maybe by the people. So that may be one reason, one important reason, other than so many other reasons. So that is one part. Okay. But idea, of course, you have to refine and live with that and constantly work on it, and then take with the literature review, identify that who all have worked with this, and then try to make a proof of concept. Just try to take it to the next level. Of course, take admission in some other universities, and without admission also you will sometimes supported. You will be sometimes be supported by so many places. Many state capitals have come with the startup oasis we have in Jaipur. There are lots of places for the common people also. And if you are a student, of course, I think any university college will be supporting these days. Then there is a comment again from Atis. Every institute should have student workforce to yield at least a mini market potential. Very nice. With the help of pursuing students or alumni to enforce a startup for providing raw workforce services to any corporation or industry. Oh, it's a fantastic idea, I think, but which may not be right now. We not be right person to comment on it. Sir, what kind of projects we can select for major projects for connecting to startups, for starting the startup, conceiving startups? Very good. So this is a question from KITS Warangal, Ashoka Reddy. So again, Mr. Ashoka, just identify that it is not that what kind of project is the best. Just look around you, and imagine yourself. Just close your eyes, and I tell my students, just close your eyes. You have grown so much. You were there in school. You were there in college. In your childhood neighboring area. Just try to identify, pinpoint some points, and then you empathize further and go when you go back to home in first itself, and try to see, and then you work on those. So there are lots of people who come in. Say for example, if time permits, I can share this small story. I don't know whether the time permits. Colonel Venkat sir. So I remember one student who came 5-6 years back to me, and he told me, sir, in the Sikhawati region in Rajasthan, he told me, sir, there are issues with the farming community. What is the issue? He said that there are cattle who are roaming like that, and they come and eat the feed of the farmers, or the farms are destroyed. And what are those cattle? They are not stray cattle. They are not that nilgai and all, but there are these sometimes abundant cattle. So then I told him, you do lots of empathy study, you identify what are the pain points, what are the way out. And he also told me there are passages which are clear-cut passages in villages. So if he can find some kind of, some sensory element where the walking pattern of the cattle in night can be, captured, and then the text can be sent to the farmers, and all those the alarms can be. So likewise, it's learning about the pain points, and then you try to identify. Their project also won the best prize, but no other student has come and taken over that particular project. So it is not that I have only one idea or the students have one idea. They keeps on dropping, and then somebody should be able to take it further. The next group should take it further, and this way moving. Otherwise, that student should be able to sustain himself or herself so that the project can be taken forward. All right. I have answered, sir, what kind of projects we can select. That part is done. Sir, you told about prime bag. It was invented, patented in which year? In 2013, the patent was filed. Sir, what kind of projects we can select for major projects for converting to startup? See, that again I think I answered. There is no single solution. Just please look around yourself, look at the problems, pain points, and then you can think on it. Sir, what type of startups can be started by BTech food technology graduates? Oh, immense potential by female graduates. There are lots of packaging work which is going on. I think I can comment on it because food is everybody's domain these days. We all need food. So just think on the food. I think we have one small startup here in our startup itself, in MIS itself. There one woman, group of women, they are working on this. I think Nuska Kitchen also. They are working on the food for women who just delivers the babies, because those were the days that the traditional food used to be there. Now the things have changed. Very similarly, imagine those pain points, identify pain points, and it fantastically suits to the food business, because there is no business like food business. It has lots of adulteration. Just look at that. You work beyond that, and take inspiration from foreign countries, maybe learn from and then come out with a right kind of pain point. I think that could be a BTech project. Sorry, I gave you I don't know what kind of tip, but there are lots of questions and comments. I am very happy. Kindly accept our sincere thanks. Okay, very nice. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. A nice presentation. Thank you, sir. Please tell us. Unicorn. Okay. I am from Sonsu College. Thank you, sir. Thanks for joining. We advise our students to societal problems. Yes. Request you to share if other state local issues. Hence, we may propose the application. Oh yes, definitely. I just given my mail ID in the beginning. You are always welcome to interact. How to build innovation ecosystem? That again is altogether different domain. Building innovation ecosystem may not be if you are owner of the college, or maybe if you are in the top management. That's altogether different story. But I am just trying to say as a common faculty member. I am not saying that I am dean of so and so doing that and heading that center. I am simply saying I am a faculty member of mechanical engineering department. I slowly build my lab, and I interact with the students and then teach them, and then also talk about, like all of us, we take one or two groups for major projects and then rotate them, and then have some kind of funding support from industry, interact with industry. They'll definitely supporting us. So how to choose a mini project? I think lots of questions, but these cannot be answered right now. For electrical student, how this can be started? Oh yes, there are. See, the limit is I not that I am the right person to comment for any department wise and stream wise, but just keep your eyes and ears open all around you. Just imagine that what things have come up, what you wanted when you are a child, Say, for example, or what people are looking for. Just talk to them, interact with them, either doctors, or maybe if you have in that domain, or agriculture, or maybe food related, or maybe vendors. So they will be able to, you will be able to find something or other. Diploma final year. I think I need not to talk about, because this has become generic. Colonel Venkat, if we have time for So there are lots of comments likewise going on. Shall we stop? So I think I talked about, but I really am happy to see lots of comments, lots of question answers. If I think I can talk something beyond within my domain, within this restricted area. Thank you, informative and nice session. Thanks. So, Dr. Saurabh. Possibly we have overshoot the time, so we can stop here. Thank you.